Well, the audio recording for this particular segment was a bit corrupted, so I just decided to do this. What do you call it? Voiceover. Wow. Anyway, this is a nice little montage of me fighting the rest of the mobs in the Woodland Mansion. And I hope you enjoy. What is it that you seek something to keep? What you find, keep in mind, may not be the same thing in the end. What is it that you seek something to keep? Keep on rattling, get it done. You may find the treasure in the end. Keep in mind, it may not be the same thing in the end. Keep on rattling, get it done. You may find the treasure in the end. Don't run, get it done, and you may find the treasure in the end. Yeah. Successful mission. Got 5 allays and made it out of the mansion alive. Got myself a totem too. Not too bad. Not too shabby at all. This is another section of clips of me trying to make it home with the allays and keeping them all together. At one point, I have 5 total. I lose 1 at one point, and then I get it back, and then I lose it again. So I make it back home with 4. Spoiler alert. But yeah, this is just a section of clips of me trying to get them home. Made it home with the allays and got some amethyst shards, so I can go ahead and duplicate them. They are able to be duplicated when you play a disc nearby and feed them an amethyst shard. So just need to find your source from a geode nearby, and then you can have as many as you want. Just gathering some leads here from a fortuitous wandering trader who showed up. So that's just 2 more leads. I know you can craft them now. This is just kind of like tradition, I guess. Steal the wandering trader's leads and Islamos. And free those guys. And yeah, so eventually I'll get these guys into an XP farm. This is a little overview now that I've gotten back to the base and gotten some stuff done. And at this point, I've got a lot of the systems set up and items filtered. And I did manage to get some work done on the XP farm as well. So I've got the allays installed and set up to be duplicated in their spot inside of the XP farm. And they'll provide a nice little quick burst of XP so I can do some mass repairs or gain levels really quickly if I need to enchant or build any like backup gear, which I've yet to do. So that'll be something I can do in the future, and it'll be a nice resource to have there. Um, do have most of the resource pipe hooked up, and uh, I have some plans in the future to install some additional pieces of automation to make things, less and less manual, and get items kind of all cycled and processed through. Next thing up that I'm trying to focus on is the creeper farm. I am doing everything in my power to procrastinate, but I have started it, at least, so there's that. Um, I will most likely change it. I have some ideas of how I want it to look and doing some testing in creative, so the whole quad design is still kind of up in the air. I don't know. We'll see. Um, just the other things coming down the pipeline that I want to do, and so far I've just been kind of working on puttering around the base, getting stuff hooked up, and nation farms, such and such. So I have some things that I want to do, and so I think the next episode will be more focused on kind of like exploration and getting some new things. And yeah, I have plans, but don't want to reveal them yet because I'm not sure if I'll be able to do it. But yes, for now, this is the plan. This is where I got my XP farm installed. Got my allays tucked in here, and let's go cam. So they're all tucked in right above that fireplace. Everything's automated. The fire, hit the potion, then when you're done, you hit the water. And that's pretty much it. Pretty standard farm. If you watch Hermit Crafting, I've built a couple of these, so similar design, same functionality. Um, I covered the whole thing in tough to make sure that there wouldn't be any chances the silverfish could escape from the potion of infesting. And other than that, there's really not a whole lot going on here. It's pretty straightforward. There's a little armor strand down there, so when they get accumulated from the water stream below, after they pop off of the fireplace, pre-cooked, they come stream down here and then whack them all. I do have some amethyst shards, so I can keep duplicating these guys if I want greater raids, but there's like a certain limit where they start getting suffocated. The silverfish start getting suffocated in the walls because there's just so many of them coming out. They can't all physically drop down, so there's not a huge point to, I think, like stacking. I think 24 would be the maximum amount of allays you could have in there before they start crushing. And then all of the silverfish that came in contact with them could potentially like instant die if all 24 were occupying the same space. So I just want to keep it relatively simple, and um, just it's more than enough XP for what I need. And then yeah, the potion just fills in the back, so I just come back there to that chest to fill it up, and that's pretty much everything. Other than I'll eventually need to replace the flint and steel, so that's a future me problem. I've updated my board here for all the projects and farms and stuff that I plan on doing. Still, witch farm. At some point, I want to do another video just kind of going over the second hut setup, so I could kind of show all that in a video form, instead of just kind of showing it after the fact, since I've already completed half of it with the other hut. Kelp farm, that's pretty straightforward. There's not really much to that. I'll just be building another one straight next to it and combining the output. Again, at some point, that's not a huge priority because I've got the other one set up and it does a pretty good job. And yeah, some other things that I want to get done. Resin farm. I managed to go out to the Oak Pale Forest, the new biome, and collected a bunch of materials there, including a creaking heart. So can finally start a resin farm. I do want to get an iron farm going. Still kind of playing around with a few ideas, see if I can do something interesting with it, as well as the creeper farm, which again I'm kind of working on some visual ideas and creative, which is a struggle for me. But the first creeper farm that I built on this world was so horrendous that I am definitely afraid of trying to build a new one and making it look good. So I'm just gonna take my time with that. And another thing I thought of is probably getting like a melon pumpkin farm set up so I can get villager trading going a little more easily. And so that's something that I can tack on to the resource pipe out there. I'm pretty much just looking for things now that I can add on to that massive resource pipe that I built because I don't know, it just seems cool and fun. And the more things that I can do, the better. Until I lag out the server and everything breaks and crashes into a burning pile of rubble. But until then, I got other things in mind. Uh, some other, kind of more cosmetic things. Like obviously, I want to get. I've talked about it before, but a map room inside of like a tower, and I think in my head, what that kind of translates to is having just sort of massive area maps at different resolutions, all laid out on the floor, obviously on top of light blocks, so they're all fully lit. And then the reason I kind of want to do a tower is because I want to do several floors. So maybe, like I said, maybe do it like different resolutions. So you have a fully panned out one, and maybe one that's only halfway, and then one that's hyper detail of kind of the town and the base and the surrounding area that I'm building up here, and then maybe other floors for other areas I'm building up to, or so that I find visually interesting. So that's something that I kind of have in the back of my head that I've been playing with. But um, other things, obviously, I've got it up there. Big projects. I don't know what big stands for, but yeah, I'm not even gonna try that. Uh, Perimeter, yeah, that most likely will never happen. If I'm being totally honest with myself, the amount of question marks and exclamation points should tell you how impossible I think that is. If I had had, I probably should add more. Um, I have kind of an idea of like a custom village buildings ish that I want to build. Um, Sort of maybe like an older wooden style houses with various different kind of primary colors. So thinking kind of like mangrove, bamboo, and then maybe a little bit of the teal wood. Where there's obviously not like a blue, but um, the it's escaping me now. The greenish netherwood, um, and to just have that kind of simple color style wooden housing sort of scattered around the area, similar to Howl's Moving Castle. If you've seen, there's like the village there has similar kind of vibes. Not that I'm going to try to mimic that at all, because that's impossible. I'm not that good. But just creating something kind of like a theme like that and using those for inspiration or points of reference at the very least. And then an electric course is something that I've been thinking about and developing. I have a kind of like the redstone mechanics behind it, uh, planned out and tested and working, quote unquote. The main concept being that you have rings in one area that you go through that if once you pass through them within a certain period of time, a gate opens. You go through that gate. The gate gives you a compass, and the compass points you to the next set of rings. And then you do that, 3 or 4 times, and all at the end you get the timing tallied up somehow
automatically. That part I haven't worked out yet, but that's kind of the gist of it. Um, so yeah, that's kind of what I've been thinking about.
And that's gonna wrap it up for now. I'm going to come back next time with some exciting adventure, exploration, and otherwise content. So stay tuned. And thanks for watching. Adios. I'm probably gonna cut all of these because I don't need to do this 3,000 times. All of this is lavishly unnecessary. Dropping a bomb, oh yeah. Dropping a bomb, oh yeah. Dropping a bomb, drop the bomb. Oh, that's the bomb, motherfucking you. That's the bomb, motherfucking you. That's the bomb. Can't believe I never stopped hitting recording. Oops.